Welcome to The Looking Glass. For those of you that are new here, my name is Meheba, your intuitive guide. I am running behind, but this is our weekly energy reading that will include all zodiac elements for the week: air, water, fire, and earth. Each element will be timestamped in the description so you can jump right into the reading of your choice. Keep in mind, each reading may resonate in some way depending on your sun, moon, rising, and Venus placements. I will be putting together this combo video each week just to make it easier for those that are interested in all four elements. As always, personal discernment is necessary. Your own intuition will always be your best guide, so take only what resonates and leave the rest. Hello to my air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Welcome to The Looking Glass. For those of you that are new here, my name is Meheba, your intuitive guide, running a little behind schedule, but this is your energy reading for this week. As always, discernment is required, so remember to take only what resonates and leave the rest. By the way, you're more than welcome to check out the water, fire, and or earth readings, especially if they represent any strong placements on your chart. All the cards have been blessed and pre-shuffled for your reading, so let's get into it. First, we have 10 of Swords. Okay, air signs, you may find yourself facing a fear this week, and you're going to want to be aware of how you choose to perceive the moment. For a lot of you, this is going to be something that ultimately leaves you feeling pretty good, maybe even proud. But you're going to have to move past your fear and take action first. It's going to be like, here's your opportunity to take on something that you've been procrastinating on for quite some time, simply because you've been too scared to make a move. And now you kind of feel forced to, like you have no choice. But once you're done, it's going to be all good. You may even ask yourself, why did I make such a big deal out of this? But for a few of you, you may be facing the kind of fear that you may have always wished, hoped, and prayed would and could never happen. But what you're going to find in either of these two scenarios is that the situation really was or is not as bad as you were imagining. Like, your imagination has been over here working overtime on this particular fear for no good reason. And you're also going to find that you're glad that you no longer have to worry or wonder about how this particular scenario would play out, even if it doesn't go exactly the way you hoped. So take this as your heads up to keep you grounded and know that it's going to be just fine once it's all said and done. Next up, we have 9 of Pentacles. All right, this is interesting. It seems like I may be talking to the same group of air signs from last week. For those of you who were not here, my air signs had the 9 of Pentacles come up as something they should be aware of. And now it's sitting in your area of lessons and growth for the week. What this tells me is that there is a continued need to be a little bit more frugal or just an overall good steward when it comes to your money. I'm hearing tighten up them purse strings, girl. In other words, you have an opportunity to exercise your growth and maturity by spending wisely, or wisely choosing not to spend this week. If you don't need to, don't do it. And know that these financial restrictions could end up lasting longer for you if you continue to ignore the lesson and carry on as if you don't need to budget. Like I said last week, who cares if you look like you're cheap? Who cares if you look like you're broke? This is really about making the best decisions now that will ultimately leave you with a greater sense of freedom in the future. And finally, we have Ace of Cups. Okay, nice. I like it. Air signs, as you move throughout your week, you may encounter a few scenarios that you may feel really torn on. Like you're finding it hard to make the quote unquote logical decision. I'm hearing indecisive AF, okay? And in these instances, you can actually feel really good about letting your intuition guide you this week. For those moments that you're instantly like, nope, I can't, no ma'am. Or when you experience that immediate hell yes, listen to that. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't try to over-rationalize. Just let those gut feelings speak up for you. It's not as impulsive of a decision as you may feel it is. Sometimes we just have these moments where we can hear our higher selves a little more clearly, and this is going to be that moment for you. And yes, on the opposite end of that, there are moments where we may find ourselves a bit out of touch with those gut feelings, but this week, I'm telling you, you're going to feel like they're speaking loud and proud. Don't be afraid to let your intuition take the lead. You'll be glad that you did. Okay, My air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Thanks for joining us. This has been your weekly energy check-in. If this reading resonated, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. If you're feeling called to do so, go ahead and check out the other elements. Again, thank you so much for being here. I love you all. Peace. Hello to my water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Welcome to The Looking Glass. For those of you that are new here, my name is Meheba, your intuitive guide. Running a little behind schedule, but this is your energy reading for this week. As always, discernment is required, so remember to take only what resonates and leave the rest. By the way, you're more than welcome to check out the air, fire, and or earth readings, especially if they represent any strong placements on your chart. All the cards have been blessed and pre-shuffled for your reading, so let's see what's up with you water signs this week. First, we have the Six of Swords. Okay, water signs. Many of you will want to be and stay aware of your state of your emotions and how you're processing them this week, more specifically when it comes to your feelings of safety. For most of you, this is an emotional situation, but for a few of you, this could be physical. If there has been a recent and really impactful change in your life, or maybe you're anticipating a major shift, some of you are not being open and honest about the fear you may be feeling around it. Instead of openly admitting that you just don't feel good about where you're currently standing, a lot of you may be trying to move through it as though it's all good, you've got this, you're strong, you don't need anybody. You think that expressing the truth about how you really feel isn't going to help anything, but really going about it this way is not the best idea. You're going to want to really recognize those feelings. They're real. They deserve to be felt instead of suppressed. These feelings don't make you weak. They make you human. So make sure you're fully aware of how you are allowing your feelings to flow this week. Next up, we have Ace of Pentacles. So when it comes to growth and any lessons you may learn this week, your lesson may be centered around your ability to see your circumstances, whether good or bad, as an opportunity. Really tying back in with your first pull about how you process your emotions and perspective. For a lot of people, we associate the idea of opportunity with something that comes with material gain, and that it's not really an opportunity unless it comes from something we view as positive or something that can stroke our ego in some way. But it seems like this lesson here could be more specific to the opportunity to allow yourself to be vulnerable. That it is an opportunity to allow some needed support into your life during hardship or any moment of challenge. We have to remind ourselves that just because we've been bred to feel good about independence, it doesn't mean that it's the best way to go about our lives and our human experience. We've been conditioned a bit to feel a little bit negative about needing help, about the need to have someone to lean on, just by the way that we over celebrate demonstrations of independence. We're like, yay, did you see what they did all by themselves? But really, you want to pay attention here because these are the opportunities most people will miss because we're too eager to take on the everything on our own. This is how we miss out on building our community of support. But even if you missed the opportunity in some way this week, water signs, you can still learn this lesson and make it a point to be more open and vulnerable going forward. And last but not least, we have King of Pentacles. Man, do these cards like to speak to us? So yes, in regards to the fears you may be dealing with this week, you'll want to direct your energy towards the things that bring you peace and security as opposed to focusing directly on the fear. You're going to want to be aware of it, but you don't want to focus on it. We all tend to make better decisions when it's not coming from a place of fear. So you want to make sure that you surround yourself with the things that make you feel safe. This doesn't mean that you stop pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. This just means that you bring in the elements in your life that do support you, that keeps you feeling safe as you make your moves. And this is a great practice to implement in general when you don't want to become or continue to be avoidant. Again, deal with whatever you have going on. Just make sure to protect yourself in the process, even if this means allowing someone else in to protect you in some way. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, thanks for joining us. This has been your weekly energy check-in. If the reading resonated, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. If you're feeling called to do so, go ahead and check out the other elements. Again, thank you so much for being here. I love you all. Peace. Hello to my fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Welcome to The Looking Glass. For those of you that are new here, my name is Meheba, your intuitive guide. Running a little behind schedule, but this is your energy reading for this week. As always, discernment is required, so remember to take only what resonates and leave the rest. By the way, you're more than welcome to check out the air, water, and or earth readings, especially if they represent any strong placements on your chart. You know, I was about to mess up those signs. All the cards have been blessed and pre-shuffled for your reading. Let's see what may be going on for you this week. First up, we have the Emperor. For many of you fire signs, the question of the week will be, is this rational? Okay. Are my thoughts rational? Is it really rational for me to be worried about this? Is this a rational decision for me to make at this time? Is it rational to even consider this person, place, or thing an option at this point in my life? Remember, the question is it rational? Is this rational? It definitely seems like it's time to really pay attention to your choices at this point in order to avoid chaos. Not sure if you need the reminder, but come Thursday, we will reach the point that we have 7 planets in retrograde at the same time. Okay? And I say this not to scare you, but to prepare you. So as we enter this phase, we being my fire signs, especially need to make it a point to be leading from a place of logic and experience. So be aware if you're allowing yourself to be led by your emotions this week. Next up, we have the 4 of Wands. Okay, I'm seeing a slight theme carrying over from last week in regards to your lessons and growth this week. Last week, you had the 4 of Cups, where your lessons was coming from a new level of self-awareness, which now I'm curious how many of you fire signs did come to grips with some new revelation about yourself. If so, I'd love to hear from you. Put it in the comments. But what's coming through now with this 4 of Wands coming up is that as you get to know yourself even better, you're going to get better at seeing where your conflicts are coming from. I'm feeling like some of you have some strong water sign placements in your chart too. So if this is you, make sure to listen to the water sign reading for the week. But if it's not, this actually may be an opportunity for you to come together with a water sign to learn and work through something. There's something strong coming through about these 2 signs and building a community of support this week. So keep your eyes open for that opportunity. And last but not least, we have the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, now fire signs. A great place to direct your energy this week is into keeping your standards high. This is not a time to lower your standards, especially when it comes to some basic things surrounding your self-worth. You're not greedy, you're not pretentious, you're not too much when you're seeking out a higher standard of living or simply just a new level of reciprocity. As you make your logical choices, it's important to remember that this does not have to come with sacrificing your standards. It is possible to maintain your standards in a reasonable fashion. Even if times are hard, okay? You have to acknowledge the truth of your desires. Do not downplay them. You have to believe that you deserve what you desire and that the universe can deliver on it, even when it doesn't seem likely from your perspective, right? We have to have that faith. So remember that your current scenario is only temporary and that it can get better and better if you really believe it can. All right, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, thanks for joining us. This has been your weekly energy check-in. If this reading resonated, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next one. If you're feeling called to do so, go ahead and check out the other elements. Again, thank you so much for being here. I love you all. Peace. Hello to my earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Welcome to The Looking Glass. For those of you that are new here, my name is Meheba, your intuitive guide. I'm running a little behind schedule, but this is your energy reading for this week. As always, discernment is required, so remember to take only what resonates and leave the rest. By the way, you're more than welcome to check out the air, water, and or fire readings, especially if they represent any strong placements on your chart. All the cards have been blessed and pre-shuffled for your reading. So let's see what's up for you this week, Earth signs. First, we have the Magician. Okay, Earth signs, you powerful little manifestors, you. I see you, but do you see you? This week, you want to be fully aware of the power you have, right? The power you have and how your willpower will help you create whatever it is that you want. If you notice yourself getting a little scatterbrained, maybe distracted and losing direction, right? Basically, if you found that you've taken your eyes off the prize, I want you to remind yourself that you are made of magic and that wherever you direct your energy, poof, it will appear. So focus on your talents, your strengths, your abilities, on the good stuff, right? The good things that you have to offer, because they are there. And check yourself whenever you start to focus anywhere else, right? You need to acknowledge your tools, lean into your power, and stay aware of your magic, okay? Next up, we have the Death card. All right. So I know a lot of people are like, oh shit, like, no. That's not called for. There's nothing to be afraid of here, okay? And in this case, death is just here to remind you that there is a lesson coming in as you transition from one phase of your life into this new one that you're currently entering, right? A lot of you Earth signs are in the midst of a big life change. You got a new home, new job, new relationships, new singlehood, right? Just the new all over the place for a lot of you. And whenever we make these big transitions, it calls for a review of sorts. In project management, they call this a lessons learned session, where you ask a series of questions to make the most of your experience, right? So this is something you're going to want to do with yourself at some point at this week for whatever it is that's coming to an end or recently ended for you, right? You're going to want to ask yourself, what went right? As in, what do I need to keep doing? Then you ask, what went wrong? As in, what should I stop doing? And lastly, what can I do better next time? As in, what were the things that served the purpose and you can see as beneficial, but it might need a little tweaking. It might need a little revision here and there, you know? So what you'll find is that if you intentionally ask these questions, there will be so much more for you to learn than you realized. And finally, we have the Hierophant. I swear, y'all, I do not do this on purpose. But this is a really powerful week for you Earth signs. I mean, you got all major arcana cards. So you're going to feel it. And it's really powerful for you when it comes to learning in all aspects of your life. Like we just talked about the lessons learned, right? Just now. And this week, it's going to serve you well to put a lot of your energy into just about any form of learning. Allow yourself to be receptive and in full-on student mode this week. For some of you, you may be formally taking on coursework to expand in your career, or maybe something you've been doing on the side that you want to grow in, right? It's a really great time for that. Others of you may be simply just exploring and starting to learn about new options that are available to you that you weren't aware of, right? Just know that the learning that gets initiated this week will not be in vain and will definitely serve you well. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, my Earth signs, thank you for joining us. This has been your weekly energy check-in. If this reading resonated, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell before you go so you don't miss the next one. If you are feeling called to do so, go ahead and check out the other elements. Again, thank you so much for being here. I love you all. Peace.